So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So I'm finally on spring break now, so it's time to get back into my OPTC content creation. And I thought we'd start with talking about the news we've got, and I thought we'd focus on the final ships getting upgrades. Well, final with the asterisk added, because there are ships they could still do. Let's just find one example or two. We can talk about two examples of that, if I can just find the ships. I think it's this one. Yeah, shopper ship Karasumaru has been boosted by a Wens before, but I see no reason why they can't give this a buff in the future, make it a permanent ship. Likewise, we have something like the Laboon ship. So if Bandai wants, they can continue with ship buffs, but in terms of like the standard ships, they are done with this batch. But yeah, let's look at the final three buffed ships. And honestly, this is one of those batches where none of them are going to be insta buffs, but when you buff them eventually, they will be useful to have. But we have one big disappointment as well. But yeah, let's do them in order. The first one is the Kizaru ship. And yeah, this has always been a shooter ship. Has always been nice since it's always been -2 CD. And that doesn't change here. Basically, what they do with Kizaru ship at level 12 is they've changed it from being a shooter ship to change it to being a shooter and slasher ship, but not like both classes. It's still a mono shooter ship, but if you have a shooter slasher, you get a lot more benefit from it basically. So shooters get 1.75 times attack, but if they are also slashers, they get an extra 1.1 times attack. I didn't do the math beforehand, but pretty sure that's still below 2 times attack. Honestly, with such a niche requirement, it should have been a substantial attack boost to make it worth it. But that's just what I think. Another thing they added was that it's easy to land perfects, which is nice most of the time, but not a huge deal. They also made a special drop better. Before it was just damage. Now they've also added death up reduction 2 charge, which is honestly a cool thing to have added. And if you buff the ship to level 12 plus 2, you also reduce the special by 3 turns. It becomes a 9-turn special, and that's the same as Mary with the attack boost, and I use that a lot, so that will definitely see usage. But of course, being a mono shooter ship and not the only mono shooter ship does make it harder to use overall. Another thing they did is make this the first -3 CD ship, which is pretty funny. Basically, shooters get -2 CD, slashers get an additional -1, so this is technically the only -3 CD ship, which is pretty funny, I'd say. Nice little bonus, but yeah, not a high priority. Might be the highest priority mono shooter ship. I should probably go back and think about that sometime. Because now with most ships being done, it's easier to make more content around ships, I guess. So I'll probably be doing that. Moving on, we have the OG Nostra Castello. And yeah, this is the biggest disappointment for me, at least with the info we have. But yeah, it's always been a universal ship. Now it's 1.6 times attack, 1.3 times HP. Driven shooter gets an extra 1.2 times attack. And that's a bit weird, I feel like, but sure. I guess it's because it's Capone's driven shooter, but Driven already has an end of turn damage ship. So now they get another one. It's like, okay, fine. It reduces all enemies' HP by 5% at the end of turn, but slightly reduces attack depending on number of slasher, free spirit, or powerhouse on the crew. So yeah, this is what disappointed me. I was really hoping they'd remove that. Because the way it works before with Nostra Castello is that if you add any slasher free spirit powerhouse, you basically lose all attack boost. So it's not slightly reduced attack, it's decimates your attack. Like you don't have any attack left if you use any of these. So that's the small asterisk I want to add to this ship. Basically, if someone buffs this, we need to do some science and see if this has changed in any way. Because if adding a slasher free spirit to powerhouse just drops the attack slightly, like it says, then it might still be a really good ship. Like the only reason it's bad right now and not see much use is that it's very hard to build a team with a 0 slasher free spirit powerhouse. Like even if you don't build a team around those classes, we have secondary classes, so it's very easy to fit one of these anyway. But if it says, if like Nostra Castello becomes instead of 1.6 like a 1.45 times attack ship, if you add a slasher or free spirit, then this ship is going to be really good just because of the end of turn damage you get. So yeah, I'm crossing my fingers it works like that, but someone has to test it. But who wants to upgrade Nostra Castello just to test if something has changed? Like, yeah, I think we're going to have to wait with that, Sally. The extra effects, -1 CD, sure it's better than having no CD reduction. And then you reduce attack down by 1. We have quite a few of those already. But sure, like it's better than not having any utilities, so sure. But yeah, if this ship is viable or not, it really depends on if it has been changed in any way in terms of slasher free spirit to powerhouse reducing attack. Final ship, Victoria Punk, which I'm sure excites some, because this is the main ship for the hardest Grand Voyage, which is Grand Voyage Arlong. And basically just getting a ship buff with higher multipliers means that you will require a lot less investment to beat it. Sure, you will probably need to own a level 150 V2 Rail League and V1 Nami just to unlock the level limit break buffs. But you probably don't need super high investment on like the rest of the units. So investing with this ship will probably help you with Grand Voyage Arlong. The biggest change with this ship, honestly, is the fact that it has gone from being a ship that requires a strength or dex captain to now being a universal ship, which is actually great. Because the main reason you use this ship to begin with is the special, and the special is still good to reduce enemy barriers by 1 turn. That's a valuable effect that I've used quite a bit myself. And not only that, you get some bonus bomb shenanigans, like you have a rainbow 1.75 times attack, which is good. And if you have bomb, super bomb, you get a 2 times attack. And you can even use the special to remove barrier, and if that's not needed, you can make bomb or super bomb even stronger. So that can be useful in certain situations. And yeah, if you use like some of the kids, like we have kids who make tandem bombs, you have a higher chance of getting bombs, stuff like that. I think the HP is a bit higher as well now. And they also reduced the spear, which is cool. Like, I'm probably looking towards doing the spear ship myself. But I'll probably not do Victoria Punk, I'll probably do the -2 ship, which I think is the Flying Mary. That's probably the next on my list personally, unless I need to do something for a Grand Voyage. And also -1 CD, so that is always useful, of course. So yeah, none of these I'd really recommend to upgrade right away. It's only like Victoria Punk if you really want to beat Grand Voyage Arlong and you're close and you just lack a bit of damage. This ship will give the damage you lack. You can probably be safe about that. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll talk about the level limit breaks a bit in a future video. I've already used one of them, by the way. I used Rebecca Viola level limit break for my Cerebral team versus PKA CP0 today. But yeah, I'll be trying the rest as well. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.